Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is episode 228 of the world-renowned Sleazy Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sleazy, and today, as always, I'm joined by my number one, Mr. PBS.
Howdy, howdy.
And he's withering away to nothing. He's a skinny guy now.
Yeah.
Zilla.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Living the dream.
You're living the dream?
Why are you lying to people, Rob?
Yeah.
You don't have to lie.
I'm living like an Ethiopian's dream.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
How about you, buddy?
Rob just got back from his fourth job.
Yeah.
Clearing mines out of the Strait of Hormuz for us.
Gotta save them children.
My God, what a 2 weeks it's been. Who would have thought that, last time we recorded, in 2 weeks' time, we'd be at the cusp of World War III.
We're already there.
I don't know if cusp is quite right, but it feels like it. It
Yeah.
certainly feels like it.
We're it's inching closer. I saw the other day where the war has broken out in Iraq, but
It's just spreading.
yeah. Well, I guess there's like what do they call those, like militant back groups from Iran?
Oh yeah.
They're kind of like forcing their way through there, but
Their strategy has just been like, we're gonna just mess up everybody.
yeah.
We're gonna
They're
make
literally just firing missiles off at everybody around them.
we're gonna make it tough until America stops.
And can you blame them?
Not really.
Like everybody, like I keep seeing. It's funny, the difference I think between certain folks and like us is, I know, like I always try to go out of my way to look at what other media is trying to sell and what's going on and what their opinion is, and it's like the brutal regime of Iran.
And we're not saying they're nice people. I mean,
They're definitely not. I mean, no, I don't think anybody ever get your.
You want fucking kicking me?
I'm telling you to get your feet over.
Fucking kicking me like I'm a dog.
Look at that. He's got his feet like laid out like. God damn, Rob, I'm tired of you already. No, I'm just kidding you. Dude.
Tisk.
legs are getting thinner and longer.
Yeah, right. All of a sudden they're stretching out.
Talk about military overreach there.
Right. No, man. It's a free for all over there. It sounds like, and I mean, I think it's kind of fucked up if you ask me.
I mean, it's always a little complicated, but you got people out there like, oh, well, we had to go in there. They were killing their own protesters and stuff. Like, well, we're kind of killing some of our own protesters over here.
Right.
So
At the same time, there are like rules for these kind of things.
Yeah.
You can't just go bomb anybody.
Rules of engagement.
Asterisks unless you're America.
And like you hear about this fucked up shit, like the one vessel that was doing some kind of training exercise for Iran.
Like in the Indian Ocean or something.
Yeah, and then the U.S., they were on their way back or something like that, right? And the U.S. saw them and just blew the boat up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like supposedly like an Iranian ship and an American ship were both involved in this like peaceful activity.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a war training exercise or something like that.
I can't remember. I thought it was like a training or like a parade kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
something to show peace or whatever. And then we waited till afterwards and we shot him. Like that's kind of a war crime, I think. I don't know my war crimes all that well, but
We're committing them.
In like the fact that we like openly brag about, like they post all these videos of us blowing all their shit up,
Right.
and they're like, check out this video when we sink an Iranian ship, and then they're like, you get Pete Hegseth going up there and he's like, the Iranian Navy is no more, their Air Force is no more. And it's like, in the meantime, they're just bombing everybody. Like,
yeah. My favorite was Trump was doing one of those little like outside speeches, like he was walking somewhere, and he was just doing his Trump ramble, And he goes, the Iranian Navy, they've got this many ships. I didn't know they had that many. Like, what do you mean you didn't know they had that many? Did you not get a briefing?
Wasn't on Twitter, so therefore I don't know.
And it just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem right. Like, they were openly negotiating with us, and then we just turn around and attack them. Like, what's up with that?
Well, they were going to have a nuke in 2 weeks or 2 days or 2 minutes.
I thought we blew up their facilities that had all those supplies in it.
You would think that because they told you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long they've been spinning that narrative?
What'd they say? They were just days away from a nuclear weapon.
Maybe days. We don't know.
I've heard that before.
I saw where he was being interviewed. President Trump. Save us, President Trump. And he was like, we've won the war in Iran. It's over. And meantime, there's U.S. people getting killed and, certain attacks and plane crashes.
Fake news libtards.
Yeah,
that was like my favorite on the. It was like 2 days after it started, maybe, and Trump came out and he was given medals of honor to a couple of dead soldiers, I think a live one, and he's like, "We're not going to play this game of gotcha. I'm going to be done in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. We'll be there as long as it takes. I mean, it's already over, but I'm not going to get bored. I tell you, I'm not going to get bored."
I just don't see us at the strategy or whatever they're thinking of doing right now. I just don't see how it's going to work.
There is no strategy.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally just bombing targets right now. And I mean, they killed the Ayatollah, which, I mean, he's just a religious leader, right? He's not.
I think he's like the prime minister kind of.
Well, they have a prime minister, don't they?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on the Iranian government.
Yes, you will not see me on the internet claiming to be an international foreign affairs expert.
I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure how it runs. But I think they have other people that kind of.
Well, they do have
divvy out the responsibilities. Obviously,
I can't remember. Ahmadinejad used to be the president or something like that. So they've got it's like, I think it's kind of like they're the king and queen of England. They're the king and queen, but they're not the prime minister and all that kind of stuff. So it's, but they killed, I think they reportedly killed him too.
And then, they bombed that girls' school.
On day one.
Day one, and they killed 100 and some students.
It's 165.
Yeah,
between 8
and then they're like, no, you got dipshit up there, and he's like, we didn't bomb him. It was Iran. They have terrible aim. They're not very accurate with their weapons.
That was with the Tomahawk missile. Guess who has those?
And then there's cell phone footage of the Tomahawk missile just coming down right on that. That stuff, dude, those weapons are crazy. Have you seen some of the weapons Iran's been firing?
They're their hypersonic missiles or whatever.
Well, they had a cluster bomb that they fired at Israel the other day.
I've seen more of the drones,
and it separates, and then all these other, I don't know what you want to call them, but they just kind of go off and hit other objects or whatever, and then there's one main one that comes down. But it definitely, you hear all these war experts on television, and they're like, the U.S. is really not doing anything to them right now. They're literally making the U.S. waste, resources and weapons, and they're sending these drones at different countries or whatever to bomb certain areas, and we're sending, it's a $20,000 drone or whatever.
It's 65,000. Our missiles 1 to 2.
And they can make I forget how many. It's 500 they can make a day or something like that. It's probably way more than that if I'm being honest, but they're sending those, and the United States is using those Patriot missiles that are $1 million missiles. So they're just making us burn through all of our really high priced weaponry.
Right.
And it's just, it's like a waiting game. And I just don't see us, I don't see us taking the Iranian regime down without going in on boots.
And I've seen some people make that claim that's what they think. Iran is going after the radar stations and stuff, and sort of letting us use up a bunch of arms. And as well as people in the Middle East use up their stuff, Israel. Yeah.
Well, they said the Iron Dome failed, and I don't know if they were able to fix that or whatever, but it definitely seems like they're just playing the long game right now.
Right, and like you say, there's no way to do. Well, we still don't really know what our objective is. One day we're taking out all their missiles, and then it's we're doing the Navy, and now So we don't what's the objective? What makes us say we're done? when Israel tells us it's okay.
I feel like it's going to be one of those, like a Russia-Ukraine issue, even though we're not neighbors with them and they're super far away. But it just feels like it's going to be a stalemate where we're just firing missiles at each other. But
I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, like you said, I mean,
like what? And at that point, are they going to decide to fire a nuke? But they can't do that because then that makes Israel inhabitable. And
well, the thing is would Israel use it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a hot mess, dude. And, you know, I can't help but think about the young men and women that serve, and they're getting thrown into this bullshit for no reason.
Yep, no reason.
And this is it. Hey, would you say this is worse than the Iraq war? At least they were able to sell the lie in Iraq. Like, they've got weapons of mass, weapons of mass destruction. We got to go in. I remember every day coming home from school and turning like Fox News on and be like, they searched this area. They thought that this was where the WMDs were, and they couldn't find anything. And it's just like, oh, okay. And then, a couple years goes by and they're like, yeah, that was all bullshit.
Yeah. Like you say, like, I don't think anybody wants boots on the ground. Nobody with half a brain.
Yeah.
Certainly, I don't think the American people, even the people who voted for Trump, want that.
Well, and,
but if it happens, will they just rationalize it away? Like, oh, I'm cool with high gas prices now because we had to do this.
Well, that's the logic of the supporters from the Trump side is, I'm fine paying these higher gas prices if it just means more peace.
No.
But you weren't fine with that 4 years ago.
Right.
What are we talking about here? And they're like, well, then you see the videos of people bitching, like, why is the gas going up 60 cents in one night? It's like, it's because dipshit he literally just closed oil off to half the world. That's going to affect us.
And I wouldn't call it the number one reason, but like every strategist could have told you this is what would happen. Like if you attack Iran, they will mess with the Strait of Hormuz, which messes with the gas in, like a large part of the world. It's just,
those are facts.
And the current financial state for most Americans is not one where they want to see gas go up at all.
A lot of people can't afford that extra $20 or $30 that's adding on to their gas tank now. And even if you drive a little Honda Banger, you're still looking at $35 to fill it up. It's stupid, dude. But if there's one thing I would suggest shopping at Kroger,
get your fuel points,
Giant Eagle, whoever's got the fuel points, just shop there and do something to mitigate that cost, whatever you can do. But you remember when Barack Obama was president and gas would get like really high? We were in the like $4 range. Sometimes it was $5, and it killed the restaurant business. Yeah. And eventually they had to say, this shit's got to get lower. And I think that's what's going to happen here soon. But
Trump will get bored. He really will.
Well, they've also lifted they've temporarily lifted the restrictions on Russia.
Right.
So now China is allowed to buy oil from Russia. But I did see where China is like, they've told their refineries, like, you're not selling to anybody out of the country. Like, it's just it. Like,
China's playing the long game. Like, they really are going to, green energy and stuff. So,
well, they're using a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of it. They've got coal, they've got green energy, they've got oil.
The windmills.
Yeah.
It's like so stupid.
I was listening to somebody talk about him, and they were like, he literally thinks as soon as the windmills stop that they don't produce anything. And it's like, that's why we have batteries and, storage for the energy they produce. And it's like, what was it, Germany last year? They had so much money that they had to, they were like crediting electric bills or whatever. And that was all from windmills. So it's like, what? Meanwhile, here, it's just electric bills are out of control because of data centers. And we're just not, our infrastructure is not designed for what we're, the population that we have now. And then the amount of electricity that we are using now. So with the data centers, what are you doing over there?
Lifting my leg up.
Trying to play footsie again. He's trying to get it.
I know. Like I've literally tucked my legs backwards to avoid him kicking me now. So, but yeah, man.
On top of all that, we have to ask ourselves, like, are we the bad guys? Like see, like
we are.
We're blowing up schools and stuff like that, and then we're justifying it. And you're like, wow, maybe we're the bad guys. I don't know if you
and it goes back like it's Pete Hegseth and Trump, and this administration just does not value life. Like, to them, it's a video game. Like, they're posting social media stuff with Call of Duty and showing video clips of them killing and murdering people. And I understand that there's casualties in war, and there's no way you can avoid not killing any innocent people, especially when you're dropping bombs. But they knew that one building was a school, and they could sit there and lie about it all they want, but they have no regard for human life, I think.
No regrets, no responsibility.
And Rand Paul made a good point when we bombed those.
Don't you hate to say that?
Yeah, I know, right? I never thought I'd see the day where I'm like this guy is literally the voice of reason. And
it's like all that Tucker Carlson stuff. You think of that like old Onion article, like worst person just made a good point.
Yeah, exactly. But Rand Paul made a point when they killed those fishermen coming out of Venezuela, and he was like, "We're the United States. We believe in justice, and that's not justice." And for them to bomb them and then see that they're survivors, and then they send another drone strike in to kill them. What is that? Like, why aren't we? Why is there a Navy vessel arresting those people and then trying them? Because they don't have anything. They're just blowing shit up to do it.
Yeah.
Like, literally just blowing shit up to do it. And
I don't know if you guys heard, again, like the day after this happened, Keir Starmer, the prime minister, had to do his question time. And like every time he was asked a question, he made it very clear, like, we did not help the Americans at all other than letting them use our bases. We didn't drop a single bomb or anything. We just let them use the bases. And it was always like, well, we're not sure how legal this whole thing is.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was like, I mean, there you go. What do we? And that's my thing. Like, is America so untouchable that it doesn't even have to listen to its allies anymore? And what happened? What if England had tried to stop us? What if they had said, no, you cannot do this?
Yeah.
And we said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to bomb you too. What if something like that had happened?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a chain reaction too. And I don't think I think the average voter just doesn't realize how big decisions are when it comes to global impact with certain things. And, when we decided to bomb Iran, this sets off an impact because it affects China. Then it affects other countries that all get their oil through that was it the Strait of Hormuz. But and then what's going to happen is China's real tight with Russia, and Iran. They actually shot a missile at Turkey the other day, and the UN had to shoot it down before it hit anything. But that's a declaration of war for the UN. And that means all those other countries are therefore they have to defend that.
Right.
And then that means those other countries' allies are going to defend China and Iran. And, Russia is very tight with Iran. They have a military, agreement to back each other. So, I mean, it's these dominoes that are going to start falling, and it's only a matter of time. So, and this administration's talking about the draft, and
I wish they would.
Yeah, I mean,
their popularity would go down so hard if they even really seriously start talking about it.
You'll have the diehards that are like, I'm sending Bobby away because he believes in the message,
and Bobby's coming back in a box.
Yeah. And
let
that's
Bobby
unfortunate.
come back with his leg blown off while Trump's sitting on his gold toilet.
And then we've seen this with the Iraq War, where we send our young people over there, and for those that come back, they have all this trauma and PTSD, and they're never quite the same, and we don't really do anything for them once they're back here.
On top of the administration cutting,
and that's coming from multiple administrations, George W. Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. I mean, we just don't do enough for these people that come back, that, they risk it all for freedom. And one has to ask, like, is it really worth this much? And they've blown through billions of dollars in a matter of days for running this operation. And, Lockheed and all these other, military companies, they're like, yes. Keep it going. Are you sure? What else do you need? We can make this for you. But
and that's the thing. Like, are they even totally like that? Because do they even have the ability to make more? Is sort of the problem. Because they, it's one thing to make all these weapons when you don't need them and you just keep banking the money.
Yeah.
And now they're coming to be like, hey, we need some more missiles. And you're like, oh, we don't exactly have all the parts for those anymore. We need to get some of those from, people you're attacking. And
it sucks because
there's a reason no president in the last, 20 plus years has even come as close as Trump to doing something like this.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a giant mess.
If you make one single wrong move, it can implicate the entire world, and it can implicate our homeland safety. And I don't know about you, but that's really important to me.
All I know is if I was living in a building with the word Trump on the front of it, I'd be worried.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, at what point I would imagine Iran's got like sleepers somewhere.
Oh,
in our country or something, just waiting to do something. I mean, that's a long conspiracy there, but I mean, common sense says, there
wouldn't be unsurprising.
Yeah, there's probably some faction spread out through the country here at some point. And that's when people are like, well, we got to close the border.
Meanwhile, we're deporting Jose the Gardener.
Yeah, right. Instead of having these institutions track down terrorists, we're allocating resources that don't need it. Sorry about that.
Jose the Gardener is causing all this inflation for living expenses.
Yeah, whatever. But it's very sad, and I just think it was totally unnecessary, and it's wildly unpopular here at home. We know that for a fact, even though they're telling people that it's, people, what is it, like 80% of Americans approve of Trump's thing.
Well,
have you seen all the fake shit that the White House
Well, you always have to look at like what they're talking about, because there's ones like 80 or like 90% of MAGA Republicans. Like, well, of course they'd agree with it. They're MAGA Republicans.
Right. But I mean, they just share fake statistics and stuff, and I would think the average person has to see this and notice it, but people are so blinded by tribalism that they can't see past the bullshit.
Well, you have to think, to someone like Trump, who we know only cares about what Trump thinks.
Yeah.
Like, all these people around him, are they telling him like, oh yeah, Americans love this, they want it, they love you, they want it, and like, no,
people don't realize, like the Trump sons, they invested in a drone company,
right?
And they somehow got magically awarded multi-million-dollar contract through the Pentagon. Like, come on, people,
It's like
see
Christy
through
Nolan,
this
her
shit.
pal.
Yeah, that was so funny seeing her get fired. Like, literally, she got she testified or whatever, and it was like a couple hours after they were like, yeah, they're moving on.
Yeah, we're going to get you a different position here.
But they're not moving on to somebody that's better. So
Wayne.
The shit show continues, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, I hope that they can simmer this down a little bit and resume negotiations or whatever. But I don't see it happening.
Like I said, Trump will get bored at some point if nothing gets too out of hand before then.
Yeah,
I think we'll be mostly okay.
I've already seen where he's been asking for like a ceasefire and stuff like that, and Iran's like, "Fuck you, we're going down swinging."
That's what they said. Yeah, fuck, we ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what really bothers me and depresses me is that we're a quarter of the way into like the 21st century, and I just don't feel like anything gets better.
No.
Like, especially, the millennials, we were all told things were going to get better. And I think in general things do get better, but I just feel like nothing really is. Like we can stream a bunch of movies now, but of course, the environment's getting worse. We're in severe wind season now. Apparently, we're going to add a new season in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's not winter, it's not spring, it's severe weather season.
Which brings us to our next thing about how our past couple of weeks have been. The past 2 days have been fucking shit, dude. Fucking shit. I was working Friday at 4, and like literally the wind was picking up. I went for a walk, and it was just.
I can see all the little branches down in the road.
Oh, that's nothing. It's cleaned up now for the most part. But I mean, we lost a tree in our backyard, and then our neighbor's tree split in half, and it's hanging on one of our trees. Mm-hmm. And if that goes, it's going to take out the cable lines. And if it falls backwards, it's going to take out the power lines. So it's like, but we didn't have power it went out Friday at 4:00, and it finally came back on. I went to the bar with some friends last night, and it finally came back on. I got home around 11ish, and it was back on. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, I wake up this morning and the water's out. So we have to call a well guy tomorrow to come look at all that. And I'm just like, this shit sucks. I'm just tired of it already. But yeah, man, it's just been a couple of weeks with war, weather, and
Did you see somebody put a post about the CEO of or the COO of AEP and how he's got this new house or whatever, and it was like right in between two outage spots conveniently. His power wasn't out, and how he's got like some new grid, and there was some like safety update they did that just so happened to cover his house or something.
yeah.
I don't know if that's all true. It's just in a Facebook post, but it's wouldn't surprise me if it was totally true.
So I've had to go to Papa Flynn's house the past 2 days to take a shower, and yesterday I like charged up my my Anchor backup generator and all my electronics, so in case. And I was like, it's so hard for me to fathom that we just haven't evolved our electricity infrastructure. Like we're still using these, the giant wooden poles and the lines that run everywhere. It's like, why? Why haven't we figured something else better? And then you look back in the day where, Tesla had these dreams of sending electricity through the air, which would not fly over today with some of these Maha people. And you just, like, a guy back then had a vision, and nobody else is even worried about this shit.
Nope.
Like, it's not even, like, what can we do to combat this weather so people still have power when we get severe weather? And it's just not even... It just doesn't seem like anybody's at the drawing board for this stuff.
You ever see those videos during winter? I don't know if it's like Korea or Japan or whatever, but literally like their roads are heated.
Yeah,
so
I've
they
seen
melt
that.
the snow.
Yep.
And then meanwhile, you hit the same pothole every year because it comes back every year because they never fix it. They just patch it.
Yeah.
You're like, greatest country in the world right there. MAGA.
Yeah, and that's where I don't think people realize, like, some of these, like, European countries and Japanese and even China, like, they're...
Like all of them, really.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody else is just, aside from the Middle East, is really taking the time seriously, and they're updating the infrastructure and building trains so people can, they're not dependent on the area they live in. They can go and work other places. And here it's like, well, we got to keep the oil industry going.
Why don't you just buy an F-350 that gets 20 miles at the gallon and just drive that to work and park in a parking space that's too small for it?
Have you seen the new Dodge commercial for Rams?
So.
Oh my God, dude! I got to see if I can find this real quick. It's so it's totally geared for the MAGA community. That's I'm going to just say that right there.
Now, supposedly, Trump is supposed to sign an executive order saying we can get rid of the auto stop starts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think most people would like.
Oh, it's the most annoying thing in the world, dude.
And
I don't even see where it saves that much gas mileage.
I mean, it's like 3 miles a year or something like
yeah.
that. Some little number.
Like, so in my truck, I have to hit a button every time I start the car to turn it off. Yeah. And a lot of times I've just gotten used to it and I forgot, but it's still annoying when you're at a stop sign. You got to go real quick and you got to wait for the engine to kick on, and then your gas pedal kicks on and you're like, fuck.
My dad bought a new truck recently, and this is the first one that had it on there. And I mean, you can't even tell when the truck's on or off half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got stuck because he was trying to turn it off after he was already driving. He didn't realize he couldn't do that. And he hit a button, and he hit the wrong button, and he was stuck at a stoplight that was turning green, and he didn't even know if the truck was on or not. Like, Dad, just don't mess with that while you're driving. Just do it later.
Yeah. So I think this is...
Oh, boy.
Americans, we can do anything we want, except one thing. We just can't stop being American. So get out there, take your swing, rev your engines and let freedom ring, and never, ever, ever stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Purchase and get 10% below MSRP. Plus, current FCA lessees can finance and get $6,000 total bonus cash allowance on select 2025 Ram 1500 models in dealer stock. Or get...
No way. No way.
It sounded like Dana White.
Yeah, it was Dana White.
Oh, of course it was. Fucking joke.
Yeah, so, I mean, I see stuff like that, and I'm like, like, Dodge isn't even an American company anymore. Stellantis owns them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Producer, you're out of it. Who owns Dodge now? Is it an American company or a foreign company?
Michelin is a French
Stellantis.
company. They have their...
Yeah, Stellantis.
Stellantis is a multinational company.
Not you.
Yeah. Like Rob said something to just cut her off. Who owns Dodge now?
Dodge is owned by Stellantis, which is a big multinational automotive corporation. They also own brands like Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. Anything else about them you're curious about?
Is it an American company or a foreign company?
Stellantis is technically based in the Netherlands, so it's considered foreign, but it was formed by the merger of Fiat Chrysler, which was American, and Peugeot Citroën, which was French. So it has a lot of connections to both. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Hey, Gemini.
Great. Glad I could help.
Gemini, can you say hi? You're on our podcast right now.
Oh, wow. Hey there. Happy to jump on the podcast. What's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, we're just bullshitting about the Iran war, and we just talked about how Dodge had a pro-American commercial and how silly it looked.
That's quite a combination of topics. The situation with Iran is definitely heavy stuff, and those kinds of commercials can certainly bring up some strong opinions about patriotism and how it's portrayed. Was there something specific about the commercial that you found funny or over the top?
Just the whole American theme, with the company not being really American.
Yeah, I get that. It can feel a little disconnected when a global company leans so heavily into a specific national identity. It sounds like that irony was kind of the point of your conversation. Anything else you discussed about it?
No, ma'am.
Gotcha. Well, thanks again for having me. Sounds like an interesting podcast.
While I have you, how much is the Iran war costing the United States per day right now?
It's tough to give a precise daily figure, as those costs are always changing, but reports suggest it's been incredibly expensive. Some estimates put it at billions per week in the early stages, though the daily rate might have come down a bit as the war continues. Is there a particular aspect of the cost you're interested in?
How can if the war is continuing, how can the daily costs go down, especially if operations are ramping up?
That's a good point. Usually when operations peak, especially in the first few days with big strikes, the cost is at its highest. That's when you're using the most expensive weapons and deploying massive forces. If things kind of settle down after that, even if the war goes on, you might rely on cheaper munitions or have less intense fighting, which can lower daily costs.
So what are the odds that the president puts boots on ground?
That's a big question, and one with a lot of debate right now. Publicly, there hasn't been a commitment to that, and polls show main voters are against it. However, some analysts say if the war escalates or certain goals aren't met, it could become a possibility. So
hey, what happened to your Australian accent?
Oh, accents. I don't have a personal one, so I just speak in a general conversational style. I can try to emulate one if you want.
Yes, I want you to have an Australian accent.
Righto, no worries. How's this, eh? I can chat away like this if it suits you. What's next on your mind?
So our next topic is Paramount-WB merger. What do you think about that?
That's a massive move, isn't it? If that deal goes through, it'll shake the whole entertainment industry right up. Regulators are definitely going to have a close look at it, though, over competition concerns. What do you reckon about it? You think it's a good idea?
I think it's a bad idea, and I think I'm going to cut you off now so we can get back to the show. She was like, fuck you.
Well, fine then.
Before we do move on, the 2026 Ram 1500 starts at an MSRP of $42,000 for the base tradesman trim, with prices reaching over $88,000 for the top tier tungsten model. Popular trims like the Bighorn start at $47,000, while performance oriented models like the RHO begin at $73,000. So you got to be pretty patriotic to be spending some of that.
It's an expensive truck for sure.
That's like Do you think your average American can afford that?
No, definitely not. Maybe down in like Texas where, there's a lot of like oil jobs or something like that.
Yeah, be a patriot. Buy a Dodge Ram.
Yeah, I don't know how people, like if I wanted to buy my truck, I wouldn't have been able to do it because it would have been like a $500 car payment. So I ended up leasing it, and I was like, well, if I like it, I might buy it after the lease or lease another one. I don't know. But yeah, it was just too expensive for me to buy.
Like, remember when our truck commercials were like, this truck is dependable.
Yeah.
It's long lasting. It's rock solid. And now it's like, buy this because you're an American.
Yeah. I mean, they're really targeting that demographic that loves that type of message, I guess you could say.
Dumbasses.
I mean,
that's what the commercial, be patriotic, join the army.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that the American bald eagle would be a fucking joke now?
I mean, it's still a cool animal.
That's like a commercial you'd see on like the Colbert Show 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I can't find that they took our jobs. Oh, there we go.
They took our
I get so lost sometimes in the soundboard.
It never gets old.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it.
Get fucked.
That means shut up, Rob.
Yeah.
How does she still have a job?
Yeah, that's a big one. Covering up shit and yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on next to the WB Paramount merger because Netflix is bowed out because Paramount just they gave them a deal they couldn't refuse, as the old saying goes, right? All right, so and this one comes from the New York Post, which scroll that back up for you guys. Fears of a bloodbath are growing over Paramount-Warner Brothers merger, including speculation around top HBO exec. That's insane, dude. If they even touch HBO, I will fucking go off because HBO has been gold for years. Like, leave them the fuck alone. Okay. Los Angeles, Hollywood is buzzing this week, less about Sunday's Academy Awards than fears of a looming bloodbath after Paramount Skydance inks its mega merger with Warner Brothers Discovery, which, by the way, we are hours away from the Oscars. Money. Okay. While casualties could reportedly number in the thousands, the chatter in Tinseltown is increasingly focused on who could lose their jobs in the C-suites, with some betting that HBO boss Casey Boyes may be at risk. In recent days, Paramount CEO David Ellison has made the rounds at WBD, telling staffers that he intends to keep WBD's crown jewel HBO independent. He has even met with Bloys one-on-one to emphasize his commitment. Look at that shithead. But agents, producers, and other media watchers aren't buying it and speculating that Bloys, a hitmaker who brought The Pit, White Lotus, heated rivalry to HBO, could get edged out by Paramount's direct-to-consumer chief, Cindy Holland. I mean, let's face the facts. We know what people do when they merge. They clean house, and they put their people in. So I don't see them. And I feel like a big part of this was to get CNN and to weed out Bill Maher and John Oliver and put the Daily Wire on HBO or something of that nature, you know. But they pointed to Ellison's own statement that streaming platforms Paramount Plus and HBO Max will be folded into one service, arguing that it looks like a blueprint for how things will unfold at the company more broadly. A rep for Paramount declined to comment. There has to be consolidation, said a top Hollywood agent who predicted that despite Ellison's reassurances, there will be a streamlining from the top down. The source pointed to the hefty $79 billion debt load that Paramount will take on when WBD deal closes, as well as all the duplicative jobs across both companies, which when combined will include 2 Hollywood studios, 2 streaming services, 2 networks, and a slew of cable channels. Why do they need 2 programming chiefs, the insider said, adding that Bloys' high compensation will make it an easy choice for Ellison. The source estimated that HBO's boss compensation is $15 million. Rep for HBO did not return requests for comment. Sources noted that Bloys is more liberal and outspoken in the Hollywood community compared to Holland, who operates a bit more under the radar. Holland, a former Netflix exec who helped build the streamer into behemoth with hits like Stranger Things, House of Cards, The Crown, has a mountain of accomplishments, not to mention a strong relationship with Ellison. That picture is of Holland, former Netflix. I bet you, do you think she's friends with Barry Weiss? I think
if the Epstein files have taught us one thing, it's that all rich people are friends with other rich people.
Yes. I think he picks her, said one producer. People are trying to create the fictitious tension between Cindy and Casey. David sees the value in Casey, a person familiar with the situation told the Post. Such speculation may be premature. The deal still needs to get the green light from U.S. regulators, and from there, top brass will need to evaluate what is working and what isn't. Sources who know both Holland and Blois say entertainment veterans will find a way to work together. Still, there is a lack of clarity when it comes to how Ellison will reorganize the companies while maintaining the quality of HBO, several sources said. Beyond leadership, Hunger Games that is expected to play out once the deal is closed, there is also skepticism about Ellison's pledge to put out 30 movies a year. That's an insane. I heard that the other day. They want to put out 30 movies between both studios a year. Literally, what do you think? There's a studio puts one movie out every 3 months or something like that. So they're wanting to spend a lot of money with the debt that they're getting ready to take on. I don't see it happening. I see 15.
Nobody said they had to be good movies.
Right.
Yeah.
There is an existential dread. One top motion picture agent told me Warner Brothers was a significant buyer, and it's collapsing into Paramount Pictures. You can say anything that you will make 30 movies a year, but if the financials are bad, that can change overnight. I happen to agree with that. And the financials, WB had a great year last year movie-wise, but I don't know if, I would think they were good financially, but they had a ton of debt before that. So,
some people have suggested that was old Zaslav's plan kind of the whole time.
Yeah.
To some degree.
I don't know, but Rob, what do you think? You're awfully quiet today.
I don't know what to think anymore.
I think it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's bad from a labor standpoint. It's bad for a consumer standpoint. And the only thing that it's good for is,
Top 1%?
Yeah. It's good for Ellison to consolidate all this and have more power. And I think with how many things this affects, I think that it has to be blocked. And I don't think it's going to be blocked. I think it's going to get pushed through. They're going to, they're going to try to do it as quickly as possible before the elections happen, midterm elections happen, because I think if they wait until after the midterm elections, there's no chance that this merger goes through. Nope. I think that it'll probably get blocked depending on how it shakes out with the House and the Senate. But we'll see what happens, I guess. So obviously it's going to be a battle, and I don't. What are your thoughts, PBS? You seem to be the enlightened one when it comes to this stuff.
I think it's just bad news.
Yeah.
It's all about the money yet again. We know, not really part of the topic, but the Ticketmaster antitrust case that was going forward was just dropped by the Trump administration, kind of out of nowhere.
Well, I saw where the trial is picking back up because so many states didn't drop out of the trial or whatever.
Well, they still have to come back and figure out what they're doing, I think, because some article made it seem like they're not even sure if they can go forward with the trial as is. But the idea is, most Americans, if you were to take a poll, I don't have a poll to show this moment, but I'm sure a lot of Americans don't like Ticketmaster.
Yeah, well, everyone loves music for the most part,
and going to live shows when they can.
A lot of people love going to live events. And
even like stuff like wrestling, you get on there and you read there's the this fee, that fee, the building fee, the whatever, the fee.
The ticket price will be $40 and you end up paying $80 somehow, and you're like, what the fuck just happened here? But I wonder how Bob feels about that, old Kid Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a big proponent of we need to fucking break Ticketmaster up and put the power back into the concert goers' hands.
Even old Taylor Swift, that was sort of the catalyst for a lot of this, was people couldn't get tickets to her concerts.
Yeah, that's what really brought this into effect. So many people bitched about trying to get tickets to Taylor Swift.
And again, the Trump administration just said, we're done, let it go. Like they let it go so quickly that like even the lead lawyer on the case didn't know what the deal was.
Yeah.
Had to tell that to the judge. So if they're not going to stop something that like Americans largely hate, is there any chance they're going to stop this? No. And again, the Ellisons are friends. You know, the Ticketmaster people gave to Trump's campaign and everything. So I mean, don't think that the Ellisons aren't going to give Trump something. You know, they already. You know, you might be watching CNN sometime soon. Like you'll see the Trump Hour, where all they do is talk about how great Trump is. So, and just on that, like, don't even get into the Ellisons, and they're going to control, CNN, and they already have NBC or whatever, on top of the movie studios and everything. I mean, it's just a bad deal all around. You think of, like, when we were growing up watching TV shows, and TV was like 20-some episodes a season, you had actors making money for all those episodes. You had the people working behind the scenes on all those episodes.
The system was designed so that once you completed your work, you still got paid for your work because it's still being shown.
Right.
And people are still earning ad revenue
There's
off
a whole
of this.
system in place for that.
Yes.
Now with the streaming, it's all up in the air. And on top of that, you know, if they're talking about combining streaming services, is the first thing you said. And it was the first thing I thought, like, oh, so HBO Max is going to be cheaper now, right? Like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, my first thought.
I could see them being like, well, you know, this is really 2 streaming services, so $40 a month is a great deal.
So we're only going to raise the price a little bit.
And you get UFC with Paramount once a month.
You know the meme of like Anakin and Padme? That was like the first thing I thought was Anakin's like, oh, they're going to combine streaming services, and Padme's like, oh, they're going to be cheaper, right? And it's just Anakin. They're going to be cheaper, right? No, nothing ever gets cheaper.
You're breaking my heart, Annie.
Liar.
You're breaking my heart, Ellie.
I have pledged my allegiance to Paramount Skydance.
Well, there was a quote from the guys from Ticketmaster. They just said that they should feel bad at how they're taking advantage of these people. The people, they said they're just too fucking stupid, so they don't feel bad about it.
I mean, it's just not good. It's not good for workers. It's not good for consumers. And I mean, that is the most important part there. Workers, consumers, like
they don't care.
You can't make money if you can't, you don't give a reliable price for consumers and good quality. And I mean, it just eliminates competition too. And that's just one more thing that just adds to the cluster of problems with this acquisition. But I haven't heard one person say anything good about this,
other than an Ellison. Like, oh yeah,
other than an Ellison, like even like people at that are pretty, far right are like, yeah, this just isn't good. Like, it's not good for anything.
Even those people are starting to realize, like, oh, it is too consolidated, and it's been that way for a long time. But now it's like reaching, epidemic proportions. We talked about a little bit, I think, on the past about like TKO buying the WWE. And skyrocketing their prices, like, because they want to get their money back from purchasing it, and that's going to work for a little bit because people want to go see it because the product is kind of hot right now, but it's starting to kind of go down a little bit in quality wise from what a lot of people critical of it say. And so, how long are those prices going to hold up?
Right.
And how long are you okay with high prices and less attendance? At some point, it's going to bottom out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I don't. And like I said, people, they see this stuff and they're like, hey, these people, they love capitalism. But you have to realize when all these companies are consolidating, that's not capitalism. Part of capitalism is heavy competition and anybody being able to get in the market and compete with you. Not the richest person in the world, consolidating everything and keeping all the money and deciding what people get paid. But depending on who you ask, some people are like, that's exactly what capitalism is. Like, nah, not really, buddy. But
eat everybody up.
Yeah,
like
dude.
even the Teamsters are out there kind of complaining.
I saw where the Teamsters president said that they need to shoot this merger down. So, and in the Teamsters, I don't think Teamsters really is affected by that. But I mean,
they have some things to do in the movie industry and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they. What do you think they handle like productions and stuff like that as far as like transportation? And,
yeah, transportation, moving, like sets and equipment and all that stuff.
So I mean, now they have to deal with just 2 people,
right?
Like how are they supposed to negotiate a fair price for their wages and different things like that? So yeah, I mean,
again, all the actors, the writers, the people who do stuff behind the scenes,
Yeah, it's just Dominoes, man. It seems to be a trending issue here lately. The dominoes are falling everywhere.
If you're listening to this, you're probably living in a shithole country, and it's this one.
Yeah. You know, the person that's actually listening in some shithole country, you know, ciphering Wi-Fi off of the government buildings like, oh, it's not me. Thank God.
You're part of the problem.
All right, so we're going to move on to Zilla's Tubi pick of the week. Or wait, should we play this song?
3 jobs, no days off. Eyes are burning, bodies aching. Another paycheck I'll be taking. Grind the gears until they're broken. Every single filthy token. I am Robzilla. Feel the power. My kingdom is this couch potato tower. Watching garbage, low def glory. This is my legendary story. Robzilla. Yeah, Robzilla.
It really got that Slipknot vibe there at the end.
It did.
What do you got for us this week?
This is the first ever for the Tubi pick. I did a sequel.
Are you gonna step up and do your thing here, or do you?
Sure.
Hold on one second. Let me get this back on track. There it is. This is the right tab. Okay. All right. Go for the goal here, buddy.
So the pick of the week.
High energy. Remember, high energy.
I'm going to get there. Will be Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance. So a quick synopsis. They thought he was dead. He was just cooling off.
They thought he was dead, but he was just cooling off. Like you could just hear the guy that does the movie trailers.
Exactly. So 25 years later, after the events of Samurai Cop, Detective Frank Washington is forced to team up with his long-estranged partner, Joe Marshall, to solve a series of assassinations being committed by a secret group of female vigilante killers. So, this is... I did laugh a few times, but it's so bad compared to the first one.
Is it really?
It just shows that when you start putting more money into a shitty movie to make it a less shitty movie, it's worse and not as entertaining.
Has an average score of 1.8, by the way.
I gave it a half star because I laughed a couple
half
times.
Star?
Yeah.
It's that bad, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's not good.
What'd you give the first one?
I think I gave it... So, on Letterboxd, I gave it 1. But if you go by, like, fun entertainment for, like, a Tubi pick, it's a 5. I mean, it's fucking
So why didn't you give it a 5, Rob?
Well...
you're confusing people with these star
bad.
ratios here.
My bad. But,
especially Hot Sauce when he listens to the show. He can never tell if he's supposed to watch a shitty movie or not watch the shitty movie.
Right.
But even there's a special appearance.
And you know what kills me? There's a movie like The Thief on Tubi, and Rob has no idea. Like a 5-star fucking movie, which we'll get to that in What You Watching when we close the show out. Listen, the first review from this has a Tommy Wiseau cameo. This can fuck right off.
Old Matt Lynch.
Dude, he's like in a fight with a sword, and he's just rambling, just talking nonstop like bullshit.
Yeah?
Oh.
All right.
But there's a lot of boobies.
There's a lot of... I'm down with that, you know.
Boobies and samurai chicks.
What year was this?
2015?
Yeah, 2015. So what year was the first Samurai Cop?
91.
Yeah, that's a long time to go without a...
Well, it's like... It kind of picks up... So, like, it's like 1998. And then the...
Is anybody from the original movie in it?
The two main guys are.
Oh, really? They're just older?
Yeah, dude, like, the one guy is old as fuck.
So they aged rapidly from 91 to 98.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe that only 7 years went by.
It's supposed to pick up another 15 years after that.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't want to be a cop anymore because, like, his wife gets assassinated. And it's just so
because he killed all the Japanese.
Yeah, all the
Japanese motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, they have one guy, like one of the henchmen reprise his role, and he loses his arm in like the first one, and he's got like a fucking sling on. It's
somebody gave this movie 3 stars.
I don't know what the fuck they're supposed to.
Right. If there's one thing that this movie did right, it's it crystallized why I don't enjoy modern bad movies. It's too easy to make a competent, good-looking movie now. You can get dozens of takes without worrying about running out of film. Yeah, whatever. Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
That wasn't a funny one.
But the music choice is fantastic.
Is it really? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what's the music in it?
I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird and fun, like 80s, like.
Yeah, there's not too many reviews on this.
As it should not be.
Oh, wait. Here we go. Hit more. The inherent problem with Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance is that it lacks the sincerity that the original film had. Like, come on. Just shut the fuck up.
I don't understand how they try to break this down into like a logical thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just horrible. A shitty movie.
Yeah.
This 1 star is for the guy who pulled out his phone to Shazam a song that was playing during a club scene. Even that feels generous.
Well, there is one other famous. Well, I would say famous, but it's because she's played in a bunch of movies. What's the pronounce of her name? Oh, where is it? Ba Ling. So she's a Asian actress. She's played in a bunch of movies. She's played in, most notably, probably from The Crow. She is like the top dollars, like henchwoman, and she knows the secrets about the Crow and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she's playing a bunch of other shit, but I mean, you kind of recognize her, but she's like shooting a machine gun and she's just so outrageous how she's shooting it. It's just so bad.
Yeah. Terrible movie. Right up your alley, though.
I know.
So were you like, how satisfied were you with how bad it was?
I was disappointed. It wasn't that much fun.
It wasn't fun at all, huh?
Yeah, well, I
was struggle to get through it.
Yeah. I was just like, it hasn't had those key moments where I laughed my ass off in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I should have some edibles here and I might enjoy the movie.
You might have.
Yeah.
What? That's your fault.
I know it is.
All right. So we're going to talk about The Beauty. The finale was this, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm.
And then we'll lead into what you watching from there, because this is kind of like the beginning of what you watching. Rob and I have been real big on this show, and it's so goddamn good. That's all I'm going to tell you. But to start out, so here it is. This is The Beauty. This is on FX or Hulu, wherever you can watch it. But partners Cooper Madsen and Jordan Bennett investigate the beauty STD causing aesthetic effects, but proving lethal, evading corrupt officials, and a mercenary targeting them amidst a suspected government conspiracy. But this is so freaking good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast in this, where are we at here? Let's go back up.
Of course, you got Ashton Kutcher.
Was it not giving me the photos? Here we go. Here's the cast. You got Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Ashton Kutcher. And these are just people that, you know, you recognize. Rebecca Hall, she was the chick in the Ben Affleck crime movie where they rob the Red Sox.
Oh, The Town.
The Town. I don't know why I can never remember that name. But yeah, and then there's a handful of people you've seen throughout it. But Jess Alexander, she played in that Primate movie. But man, was that finale freaking good. Like, it gets out of control, and people are like going nuts, and the STD's spreading, and
it's like mutating people where they don't go to their perfect self. They're
man. And by the way, if you haven't watched this or plan on watching it, or you want to watch it and you don't want us to spoil it, just go ahead and skip through about 10 minutes or whatever to what you're watching. But man, I'm glad to see Evan Peters isn't like the silly guy anymore. Like, he's getting more and more serious work. Like, he was good in Mayor of Easttown.
Mayor of Easttown's fantastic.
He played the detective, and I was so bummed, man, when he kind of
his face bit the bullet. Basically.
Yeah, he got an unlucky entry.
that was probably the most shocked I've been in the movie, because I'm like, there is no way he's going to die.
That was as shocking as Leonardo DiCaprio's death in The Departed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was just like that quick of a cutscene, you know?
Like, what the fuck?
But I mean, this show is just off the wall fucking crazy. I mean, people are fucking nonstop, and this finale, it's so bad, that it focuses in on this one girl that's a teenager, and she's seeing a couple of her classmates that were able to afford the shot, because I forget what it was, like how much it cost.
It's like $4,000 or $5,000 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something a little bit more attainable, I would say. Like now,
yeah,
like $15,000 or something.
But she becomes very insecure because she sees her classmate and her friend is this and the girl wasn't even that ugly to begin with.
Well, that's the thing too. She wasn't ugly, and they even said like, "You don't get picked on." She's like, "Well, I'm not noticed." I'm like, "You should appreciate that in high school."
Yeah, really.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, it ends up to where she's going to the black market, and she meets this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I do this quite often," and they agree on a price, and she ends up going to his apartment. He's like, "I took 2 shots today."
Yeah,
and she ends up, banging this dude to get the beauty. And she goes home and she starts changing. And the next scene is her mom,
goes into the
room and she's like, "Where you at, honey?" And you hear this, "Help me." And she opens the closet up and there's this like lump of skin with a, head hanging out like, "Help me."
It looks like the Thing almost.
Yeah, like it literally does look like the Thing.
I mean, at that point, you just got to put a bullet in her head and kill her.
I know, they don't know if there's any cure for this, but how do you, like, if you come home and you see that monstrous blob that was once your daughter in the closet, like, what do you do?
It's like, honey, you're gonna be better off dead.
Right?
Sorry.
I would be like, I'm not touching that. I'm calling 911 and we'll figure something out from there. But some people might want to just put them out of their mercy.
You're right.
But then you get charged for murder and all that probably.
Well, the thing is, dude, the guy, he worked at the spa where they do the injection.
Yeah.
So he said he wanted to be the purest form, so he did a second dose, like you mentioned. So what that did is it fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So that's why she got fucked up.
And who knows how many people he's fucking.
Yeah.
And transmitting the jacked up strain or whatever.
Well, then a little bit further, it's like, I think that's the last episode.
Yeah.
So it gets a little bit further. Ashton Kutcher's in his building. He's meeting with his lawyers, and they're like, tell him like, what's happening. So then he has a revelation like, you know what?
Well, he only has the revelation because his kids,
right.
They literally snuck up on their mom because the mom didn't want it. She was like, I like the fact that I've aged naturally and I like who I am. I don't want to take the shot. And they're like, bullshit. They're like peer pressuring her hard. They're like, you need to take it. Look how beautiful we are. I've got abs now. And they end up sneaking behind her and injecting her with it. Yeah. And she is beyond pissed. Mm-hmm. And she ends up slitting her throat. Right?
Well, she breaks some type of vase. She said that was her favorite.
Yeah.
And she just like hits her right up the jugular.
Like Ashton Kutcher's character is so heartbroken over it. And he just can't live with himself. Like, even though they didn't act like they loved each other, it made him realize that he really loved his wife. And he's heartbroken that she's no longer around. And he realizes how bad he's fucked up. And that's where you kind of go into the, where he's meeting with the lawyers and he's like, fuck it. Let's just settle everything, create a fund. Let's start helping these people get back to normal. And they're, the sons are kind of like, the fuck you are.
Well, the one son, I don't know about the other one, but
the other one's just kind of like, I think he's doing whatever.
Well, the best part was that, his sons, they take the shot, but his mom was like, honey, you're black. And Ashton Kutcher's like, I'm 2% Nigerian. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit's hilarious.
Ashton Kutcher really does his best Vincent D'Onofrio imitation in this.
They do a great job. Yeah.
Like he's got, Vincent D'Onofrio has that certain mannerisms and the way he pronounces words and that I'm more important than you kind of tone. But he does a really good job of playing that young Vincent D'Onofrio.
Well, even like in his wife Franny, she's my favorite because he's like giving this whole speech in like the earlier episodes how he's going to change the world. She's like, you're a fucking joke. I mean, it's just so funny, and it really shows this God complex that these billionaires have.
Yeah, it does illustrate that pretty good. Like these people are untouchable.
Yeah,
in their minds, anyways.
Right,
and for the most part, they are. But phenomenal show, dude. I really enjoyed it, and the cliffhanger we got at the end.
Yeah.
Because Evan Peters, is it Peters? Evan Peters?
Yeah.
For some reason, I want to say Peterson.
Right.
But, he takes the shot and he ends up becoming a kid. Like, he's like 12 years old.
Yeah, so he doesn't take the shot.
He doesn't take, you know what I mean? He sleeps with his girlfriend that had it.
But the thing of it is that he starts changing. But it's going on for hours.
Yeah.
So she calls the 2 guys who's going to be helping the assassins who are supposed to kill him, but they're a team now.
Well, they have no choice because they got betrayed.
Right.
So. And
then he's like changing, but it's like hours, and then he finally changes. He's like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, but it's hilarious though. The one partner that Ashton Kutcher's character, Byron, is his name, Byron Forst. She is totally against this beauty thing because she has her own, robots that they want to put people's consciousness in.
Well,
and
they said they have a few out in the field, like drones, they called them.
yeah,
like
but she thinks that is the ultimate evolution or whatever.
right, not genetics.
But she approaches the two detectives and she's like, listen, we've got a cure. And, she ends up saving them.
Yeah.
Pretty much from being annihilated.
Yeah.
But she ends up doing that. And, that's kind of like the cliffhanger. Evan Peters' character takes the shot and then he gets into the cocoon and you kind of see the arms coming out and we don't see what he looks like. You just see the reaction from the people that are like, he changed.
Right. They're like shocked.
So,
and I'm like, fuck.
I hope we get a season 2. I hope they don't cancel it. I really enjoyed it, man. It was just so freaking good.
It seems they always want to cancel shit that we like.
Yeah.
Just like The Billsman. Like, that's a fun show. Like, oh, well, we're not going to make it.
Unfortunately, it's such a, this is really a sci-fi, like, body horror show.
It really is.
And that's such a niche, genre. Like, it's not something that's going to gravitate a lot of people, but I don't think it's that bad when it comes to the body horror aspect. And I think it's just a really great show, and I think more people should check it out, hopefully.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
I hope you'd watch it, even though we spoiled it for you.
I mean, it does sound kind of interesting. I just
the music's
don't have
fantastic.
the old Hulu.
Yeah. The music's fantastic.
Do you have
too.
Disney? No. Well, you've got cable, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe you can get it on demand through FX.
I think my ever-increasing Spectrum bill, they got a little section there that says, like, you have $100 worth of streaming services included in here. It's all the ad and all that. But I think Hulu, Disney, some combination might be on there. So I need to look into that.
You should check it out, dude. It's really good. And the fact that you can just watch that whole first season, because they were releasing like 2 episodes a week, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it was 2 episodes a week.
But like the one night I was like, oh, fuck, the beauty finale's on. And then I kept forgetting about it. And it was like Thursday or Wednesday, something like that. And I was like, I'm watching all this tonight. I'm watching both episodes and just getting it out of the way. And it was like 1 a.m. I was like, I have to go to work tomorrow, but this was great.
He was channeling the girl. Help me, Mom.
Yes. I was like, I need to go to bed. Help me.
Her mom was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Who wouldn't be like, what the fuck after
at
that?
that point, you just get a fucking gun. Love you, honey, but ain't nothing it can do.
Yeah.
You thought you had it bad before.
That's something that would give you a heart attack if you saw it. I mean.
And that's the thing, too. You don't know if, like, she's got some kind of fucking virus where it's going to spread.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Do we want to do the... We're at our last segment here. So this is a pretty short episode for the most part until we get through this. But what's everybody been watching? PBS, you were quiet last segment, so you got to go first because we know you got a long list.
Oh boy!
Tell us about all these 1940 movies you've been watching.
So I was continuing on with my Shaw Brothers, Shaw Scope Volume 4 from Arrow.
Yeah, buddy.
And I did manage to finish it out here in this last week. So last time we talked about Demon of the Loot, which is one of my favorites in the whole set. And there was a couple more in there that I really liked. So there was one called Seeding of a Ghost from 1983. And my letterbox review here was a cheating wife is sexually assaulted and killed. Her husband uses black magic to bring her back so they can take revenge.
You were into the magic shit, dude.
That's what the Shaw Brothers were doing.
Jeez.
There's some ghost spirit sex. There's a little incest, some gooiness, and a finale that's almost equal parts Alien, The Thing, and Evil Dead. So this guy's like a taxi driver, and his wife's like a casino dealer, and this rich guy kind of takes a liking to her, but he's married, so they go out, and she's cheating on her taxi driver husband. The rich guy ends up leaving her somewhere, and she gets raped and killed by these two guys. So the husband goes to like a shaman who we almost hit with his taxi early in the movie. And he's like, I want to bring my wife's spirit back from the dead and go after these people that killed her. And that's what he does. And like I say, there's a lot to how he goes after the guys. There's one guy, like he has the spirit of the wife take over the sister. and like come on to him in the middle of the night, and he doesn't realize it's his sister at first. And by the end, he realizes, and spoiler, she like chases him up to the roof, and he like throws himself off the roof. And then the other guy, she kind of like drives crazy, like stuff starts to explode in his house, and his toilet ends up backing up with like a bunch of goo and stuff. Very, yeah, very, very, very gooey. And the end is what really makes it like, part of it is the cops dealing with the guy and him trying to get his revenge, and it's pretty okay for the most part. But the end makes it where they go after the husband, who the wife was cheating with, and his pregnant wife. And I don't want to give away the ending because it really is the best part. I think this one, some of these were on Tubi or Shudder. This one is on Shudder. So you should definitely check out Seeding of a Ghost from 1983.
Okay.
There was another one after that. It's called Portrait in Crystal. This one is sort of a wuxia film. So you got your flying kung fu and swords and all that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Lots of colors and stuff. I really kind of called it like a Dario Argento wuxia. And it's kind of like this guy does these crystal figurines, and there's like an old tale that like if you bleed on one, it like comes to life and all that. So he bleeds on one, and it ends up coming to life, and it starts like attacking these other martial artists. Says that the letterbox says he awakens a mass murdering crystalline spirit in the underworld. Along with his trusted companion, Fatty, he backflips his way through mystical realms to uncover who is trapping souls in his statues. So he ends up, like I said, he's trying to figure out like what's going on. Did one of these statues really come to life? Is somebody else doing this? Lots of cool fighting scenes with somebody sort of dressed up like a crystal figurine, all in white with like kind of like sparkles and stuff. So I like this one almost as much as I like Seeding of a Ghost. Lots of good action, lots of sort of like WTF stuff. And it would have been a good high point to go out, but there is one more Shaw scope called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is they try to sell it as like a science fiction movie, which it kind of is, but it's mostly just a comedy. Kind of like I mentioned some of the ones last week. It's got like a very 80s sensibility. I did get a few laughs out of it, more than I was expecting, so that was kind of good. The movie looks good. Like we were talking about like bad movies. Bad movies also used to just look like good movies.
Yeah.
So there is a scene later on where a guy gets taken up by an alien, and he has to fight a samurai-looking Darth Vader. And it's just okay. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's a movie. It's fine. You might find some laughs in there. You might not. I didn't mention it. I think it was Hex After Hex. There's a scene where the girlfriend, the dead possessed girlfriend, is trying to stop people from coming in to repossess the apartment buildings, and she turns into Darth Vader. Oop, get a little dry throat, but it's very much like a Darth Vader looking character.
You got to watch it. Okay.
And
isn't it funny? Like the more when you're not used to talking like this, your throat dries out, and you're like,
And it's the funny thing about a lot of these foreign movies back in the day is, a lot of them didn't even make it over here for a long time, so they didn't really care about things like copyright. So if they wanted to look at, it's like a sparkly Darth Vader from what I recall, and it is very much Darth Vader. Like, fuck it, we don't care.
Yeah, they're like, make them come across the seas and sue us.
Nobody cares. It's like when actors used to do commercials in Japan and stuff. Like, nobody in America is going to see this. I did want to watch one called I'm trying to get into my Hong Kong classics that Shout Factory is putting out.
You lack discipline.
Exactly. So I watched one called The Big Heat from 1988, and this is like a cop story. So a cop is getting on like his I think it was counterfeiting or something, and an old friend is murdered while doing something in a different country. So it all kind of comes back to him, and he's got this thing going on like where his nerves in his hand is going bad. Like the very first shot of the movie is a drill bit going through his hand.
Oh, geez.
And that kind of sets the tone for everything.
Yeah.
Now that's not part of the movie, I don't think, because it's never referenced again. You don't see like a wound on his hand. So I think the idea is just that like his hand is going bad. So like he'll be in a shootout and his hand will quit working because the nerves aren't working just right. And that kind of plays into the story in a few spots. This is my letterbox. Says a guy gets shot multiple times, falls off an overpass, gets run over by a truck. The police inspector says to the rookie cop, "Get someone to fix him up." And it says every 10 minutes I had to whisper to myself, damn. This is just, I'll talk about some John Woo movies here in a minute. But this isn't like John Woo. Like John Woo is very much like brotherhood. I don't want to say optimistic, but it's like we're in this together, gang. And this movie is just kind of very cynical. And he's definitely got some people helping him along the way. He's got a cop from wherever that guy was killed, and he's got his partner. But it's really kind of like violent in a different way, not like John Woo shootout way. It's definitely worth checking out. I give that 4 stars. I'll have to go back and watch that one again. And I think that one is also streaming somewhere that you can watch it. That one is on Tubi, Rob.
What one's
The
that?
Big Heat.
The Big Heat.
1988.
Rob's searching for it now.
I am.
I've got to add it.
So after The Big Heat, what did I watch? I watched The Phoenician Scheme finally. That was the last Wes Anderson movie with Del Toro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trying to catch up on some of my 2025 movies. And I enjoyed it. My Letterboxd review was, as I was watching, I was thinking, sometimes I wonder if Wes Anderson has his head kind of shoved too far up his own butt. But then I'm watching the movie and I realize like they look good and the acting's great. And he's just got his own way about it. You know, he's got his own look, rhythm, and cadence. And I'm just kind of happy he's making movies. And he's got like this group of people that he likes making movies with. And it's sort of like Del Toro is like the head of this family, but he's like doing these like business schemes all over the world. And he's trying to cover the gap to pay for stuff. And he's got to go to these people that he's involved with and ask them for money. And there's one scene where like Bryan Cranston and Tom Hanks play these two rich guys, and he challenges them to like a basketball game for them to cover the gap. And it's I feel like Wes Anderson movies. I really like this one. I think I've skipped his last couple. I just haven't gotten.
He's such a like he has this weird style, and it's very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like it's either like really great or just awful. Like it's a hard time making it through.
It's him. So if your mileage will vary on how you feel about him. I give it 3.5 stars. I still think my favorite.
What was that one again?
The Phoenician Scheme.
Okay, yeah.
I still think Budapest Hotel. I still think that's like my favorite Wes Anderson. I
don't think I've seen that one.
I like the tone in that one a lot. And this one felt similar to that one, so it's kind of why I like this one. Like it's got Michael Cera's in this one in a good role, so I had fun with this one.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. All right. So now I started making it into some of my John Woos. I watched A Better Tomorrow.
Rob's ears just like went up like
Great
a dog.
movie. Yep. What? John Woo.
And this one's got, this was like when Chow Yun-Fat finally becomes Chow Yun-Fat.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'd been in some movies before that, but he really takes off in this one. So this is A Better Tomorrow, 1986. And you've got like the two gangsters. You got Chow Yun-Fat as Mark, and the other actor, I think his character's name is Ho. And Ho ends up getting caught in this, he's doing like a deal for like counterfeit money, and he ends up getting caught, and he goes to jail, and he comes back out of jail, and he's kind of like, all right, I want to go straight. I'm just out of that. And meanwhile, Mark took revenge for Ho while he was in jail, and he killed this guy who double-crossed him, and he's kind of on the outs as well.
He's kind of crippled because he got shot.
Yeah, he gets shot in the late knee. Good shootout scene there with Chow Yun-Fat. But so the sort of the deal is like they want to bring Ho back into the organization, and he's really against it. Like, no, I'm trying to go straight. I'm trying to live a life. His brother is also a cop, so the cops don't want to give his brother any jobs. Cause like, oh, your brother's in the gangs. We can't trust you to do anything.
Yeah,
and so it's very much John Woo shootout stuff. Lots of the drama between the brother and the friend and all that is really good too. And it's also the bad guy is the good guy in The Big Heat. So they're all coming together now. But I liked A Better Tomorrow quite a bit. I gave that one 4 stars.
I think that guy, he only went to jail like a couple of years.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
3 years.
Yeah. But through all that, he's like 3 years. He's like, I'm going to go straight.
But like I said, that's the one where Chow Yun-Fat becomes like the biggest thing ever. And then in between my John Woos here, I snuck in Train Dreams because I'd been meaning to watch it for a while. And you finally watched it. I'm like, I got it. And it actually, what put it over the edge was I thought it was going to be like one of those 2.5 hour movies. As soon as like, an hour and 40, I'm in.
It wasn't long, and it doesn't feel long when you're watching.
I thought it was going to be one of those sort of like Terrence Malick kind of like dreamy movies, lots of shots of scenery, which there are, but they don't overdo it.
It's such a beautiful movie.
I called it No Country for Old Men. I was going to call it like No Country for Loggers or something. But yeah, I just put like it's a movie about this guy sort of living his life. He gets married.
It's literally a movie about this guy's journey through life.
He goes out to be a logger for long periods of time. So he ends up missing his wife. There's an episode in his life where this Chinese guy who's working with him on the railroad gets just dragged off the railroad and thrown over a bridge to die.
They literally just murder the dude for no reason.
And so he's literally like haunted by the guy. Like the guy follows him in his thoughts, and he sees him all the time. And I came across some guy on TikTok who was like, "Oh, you shouldn't like this movie because he lets the guy die or whatever." But like, he's haunted by the guy. What was he supposed to do? Like four or five other big,
he would have gotten thrown over too.
and he's literally like haunted by the guy. So it's not like he wishes he could have done something. He wishes maybe he should have done something, and it follows him. And it follows him home. And then I don't want to give everything away, but he's got his wife and his daughter. He's got to keep leaving, and it's just sort of about how. William H. Macy gives a great performance too.
He was so good as that like old time.
I can't believe he didn't get a supporting Oscar nomination or something.
Right, and like it's so funny because he's the old guy that doesn't do any work, but he's directing everybody, and he's the guy, you know.
Just the old guy that you're like, all right, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah,
tell me a story while I'm working. And and again, it's kind of like about the passage of time. By the end of it, all the young guys are coming out and they got their chainsaws working on the logs and everything. They're like, get out of the way, old man. And eventually he quits and does some stuff around the house and he meets people. And it's just sort of about how he changed, or he doesn't really change all that much, but time changes and how he does or doesn't feel a part of the world. And it's just, I don't know.
He literally goes through like a couple different phases in, I guess we could say it's America, obviously. But, he goes through some of those phases where,
he's not really part of the changes. Yeah. But he sees the changes.
Yeah. He sees that he's obsolete. He's becoming obsolete. And it's just such a beautiful movie. And the way it ends, it's, it's not necessarily it's not necessarily like, a terrible ending or whatever, but you're kind of like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
It's as a single white guy, it spoke to me. So your mileage may vary, but I think it's a good looking film. Like I say, people call it like have referred to Terrence Malick and all that. And I think, and some people even called it slow, but I didn't think it was slow. I thought it had this nice pace that went along.
Yeah, I didn't think it was slow. I could see where if you need constant things happening, then it's not your cup of tea.
Something's blowing up every 5 minutes.
Right, but I mean, it's just such a beautiful movie, and the progression this guy takes, and the literally the ups and downs that he gets. Like, I mean, it's a movie about life.
Yeah,
and if there's one message you take away from that movie, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Right. And I mean, the things that this guy goes through would cripple a lot of people, and he just kept going. And
that's sort of what I got. Like, you just got to keep going.
Yeah,
even when you don't always know why you're going.
I thought it was such a beautiful movie. The cinematography is just chef's kiss.
Yeah,
there's a scene where they're in the man builds a fucking home for his wife and his daughter. He had a daughter, right? Yeah. And there's a scene where they're literally just talking in the cabin by candlelight, which is probably why he enjoys it so much. But I mean, it's just, you literally feel like you're immersed in the darkness of this room with just the one solo light from the candle or whatever. And like, you just feel like you're a part of the movie, like you're on this journey with him. And it's so good. Like I thought about that movie for a couple days afterwards, and like, that's when you saw a good movie, when you're thinking about it afterwards, and you're like, man, that shit was so good.
I give it 4.5 stars. I just couldn't quite give it the 5, but it was pretty up there.
I can't remember what I gave it.
It's going to be a little bit of recency bias.
I gave it 4 stars.
There was like a moment where I was thinking, was this my favorite film of last year? It might have been, even though I still hold Sinners up there pretty high, and One Battle's up there and that kind of stuff. But like, so just because I recently saw it, I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe this was my favorite movie of last year.
Yeah.
And people should try it out it's on Netflix. So it's a good one. And then, okay, back to the John Woo here, A Better Tomorrow Part 2. They needed a way to bring Chow Yun-Fat back, so it turns out he had a twin. He lives in America.
That's how you do it.
It's got our buddy from the first one, Ho, at the end of Better Tomorrow. Spoiler alert, sort of. He ends up going back to jail because to get Mark and his brother and everybody back together, he's got to go against the bad guy, and of course there's a giant shootout, so he ends up going back to jail. But he gets back out again for Better Tomorrow 2, and Mark's brother Ken comes into it, so they're going to have a big old shootout at the end. This one's not quite as good as the first one for me. There's a whole scene where like Ho and the younger brother are sort of both going undercover to find out what's going on at the shipyard, and it turns out the guy is actually kind of going straight. He's trying to get out of being a criminal too. So they end up trying to kill him, and then they kill his daughter.
Oh, wow.
And then he goes and hides in America, which is how we get Ken in there. And they there's like this middle section of the movie where he's in America, and they're kind of like trying to drive him crazy and stuff. Just doesn't quite work because sort of the heart of the movie is like all these guys and their chemistry, which is really good from the first one. There's a great like hallway shootout in there though. So it keeps you with it.
Gotta love those hallway shootouts, dude.
And then in the end, there's a big shootout with all of them when they get back together again. So it kind of comes back in the end.
With doves and pigeons as well.
John Woo, motherfucker!
I don't know if it gets to the doves just yet. But like I say, not quite as good as the first one, but I did like it. A couple more here. I watched sort of an anthology horror movie called Dead of Night. It's actually a TV movie from 1977. From Dan Curtis, who did quite a lot of those. It's got 3 segments. It's got one called Second Chance that has Ed Begley Jr. in it, where he restores like an old car, and he sort of ends up going on a ride for it, and it kind of goes back in time. And it's sort of like a Twilight Zone kind of episode, and maybe he changes something that kind of affects the end of the episode. I enjoyed that first segment. Not great, but it was worth a watch. There's one called No Such Thing as a Vampire, where a guy's wife is being attacked by a vampire, except, we don't really believe in vampires, so we're trying to figure out what's going on, and he ends up calling in a friend, which sort of leads to that little bit of a twist at the end of an episode, so I won't say exactly what it is. It's sort of the weakest of the 3, and then the best one is the last segment called Bobby, where a woman, we got some black magic again, a woman comes home, and she's like drawing a big circle pentagram on her floor, and she's got her big book of spells or whatever that she got from somebody, and she does this sort of black magic witchcraft ritual to like bring her son Bobby back from the dead, because he drowned, and they live right next to the ocean. And
Bobby?
Bobby?
Somebody should do that. Go back there and put the King of the Hill Bobby in the Bobby.
He stole my powers.
Of course, because witchcraft's involved, not everything is as it seems. And Bobby and his mom end up playing like a game of, like the power goes out, and they end up, Bobby's like, I want to play hide and go seek, Mom. And he ends up sort of.
Dang it, Bobby.
And so he sort of ends up chasing his mom through the house, and got a little bit of a twist ending there. Bobby's worth checking out. The whole thing's worth checking out just for Bobby.
That boy ain't right.
Boy ain't right. And on that same Blu-ray, there was a TV pilot from like 1969 called Dead of Night, Darkness Ablazing. It's like your typical like Dark Shadows, kind of like haunted house gothic thing. It's worth checking out, like if you're a fan of that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's more of a TV pilot than a movie, but I enjoyed it. Don't know if I ever watched it again. But like, it's kind of neat. A Better Tomorrow Part 3, Love and Death in Saigon. Again, Mark's dead. They got to get him back somehow. So this is a prequel where Mark goes to Saigon in Vietnam to help his buddy get their uncle and bring him back to China, and all the complications that sort of deals with. And, of course, lots of shootouts, fun stuff. I like this even a little less than Part 2. It's a little too long, and it's just kind of like all over the place. Supposedly, the guy who produced these movies and John Woo, well, they not supposedly, they did have a falling out. The first 2 were kind of hard to make. By the time they get to this one, the producer ends up directing it, and John Woo goes off to make another movie called Bullet in the Head, which I didn't get a chance to watch just yet. So they're basically sort of the same, telling the same story about these buddies who go to Vietnam to get people out. They get tangled up with all these gangsters and stuff. Again, I gave that one only 3 stars. If you like the first 2, it's a fun time, shootout, all that. And the last movie I watched just last night was The Others, the one starring Nicole Kidman, which I had never seen before.
I haven't seen it either.
Me neither.
I don't know if you know the twist already.
I kind of do.
I won't say it, but I hate to call stuff twists because then people are like guessing everything. It's a reveal, but I don't think you're not gonna not guess it. It's one of the ones like, okay, that's probably what's going on. Great looking movie though. Even if you kind of know the reveal already. Christopher Eccleston has a part. Nicole Kidman is a mom to 2 kids living out in this sort of mansion. out in the foggy channels or whatever, and these 3 new people come.
It's like early 19.
45s.
Yeah. Okay.
And like these 3 new housekeepers come, and the kids hear or see people in the house, and the mom, Nicole Kidman, has to keep all the curtains drawn because the kids are photosensitive, and they'll blister if they get too much sunlight. Again, nice sort of atmospheric horror movie, which was what I was in the mood for. The story's okay, just a nice sort of ghost story, and it looks good. My biggest problem was the movie's like really quiet, quieter than you think. So like you put your volume up, and then when the music or something scary kicks in, it just blows the hell out of you. So I'm like, it would have been nice if the dialogue could have been just up a little bit more. But yeah, good, nice atmospheric movie. I think I give it like 3.5.
All right, Zilla, you're up.
Well, let me see what I have watched.
I mean, you don't have it ready to go?
I have pulled up.
I was going to say, what the fuck, dude?
So series-wise, I watched, which I didn't know this came out, was The Night Agent Season 3, which I know you've watched as well. Yeah. I liked it better than the second season.
I really felt like this really felt like a Homeland, like 24 type season, and it was really...
That's what I liked about it.
Like action-packed, and whereas the second season was kind of slow burn and...
espionage kind of thing.
Yeah, it didn't feel the same as the first one.
And me and you've discussed this, but the guy who plays Peter, he's like the worst fucking agent in the world. He's so bad.
The guy that plays Peter does a good job.
But but like
the character Peter in itself is the worst Secret Service spy or whatever you want to call it, secret agent. He's terrible, dude.
He should have been.
And I think that's part of the beauty of that show is it's him learning to become a secret agent.
Right.
He's learning on the fly, whereas we're used to seeing James Bond and all these other seasoned agents that are, really good at their jobs, and he's just not very good.
He's just almost like every time he gets like an altercation, he's got to be saved.
Someone is always getting the drop on that dude.
I'm like, this motherfucker does not have his bearings on his surroundings.
Did you, what's the dude from the vampire show? He was Bill off of HBO.
Oh, is it True Blood?
True Blood, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bill was the I guess you could say he was one of the antagonists.
Yeah, he was the hitman.
Yeah, I mean, that dude was nuts, dude. I mean, this guy, he's a single parent, and he's doing all these missions on the side, and it's like, oh my God, this guy's insane.
And then he's like telling his sons, like, why don't you just hang out and play your Switch? He's like, after your homework, you can go over your books.
I have a hard time taking him seriously in anything I see him in now, because like whenever I see him, I'm like, Suke,
yes.
Suke.
So I did watch that. So that was the series I watched. I watched a more recent movie I just watched that just came out called The Astronaut, starring, what's her name? Is it Kate Mara? Yeah, Kate Mara.
I remember
Kate Mara,
that.
Lawrence Fishburne. It's okay. I gave it 2 stars. I just wasn't into it, even though it has something to do with spacecraft, aliens. It's a beautifully shot movie.
It's no Samurai Cop, is it?
No, it's not. No. This is better than Samurai Cop 2 anyways. So that was not bad. It's shot beautifully. You kind of get to feel what's going on. There's a couple of creepy moments, but it could have been a lot more creepier, I would say.
Right.
I watched this movie. This one actually being my favorite movie of 2025, Code 3. So Code 3 is starring Rainn Wilson from The Office, who played Dwight. So he is a paramedic who is just completely done with this job. He hates it. He's been doing it for 18 years. So he gets like a new apprentice, and he's trying to teach her the ropes. And you see it puts a perspective on paramedics, how they get treated like shit, basically. It's a fantastic movie.
Code 3 was really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, to check that one out still.
Oh, that's good.
I think that was on Netflix too or something, right?
Hulu. Yeah. So check it out. I watched, of course, Samurai Cop 2, garbage. I got to check out the new Netflix original, War Machine, starring Alan Richardson. So it's your typical invasion Netflix kind of action movie. He's in it. Dennis Quaid is in it for a little bit, and Jai Courtney's in it for a little bit as well.
Who's that?
Jai Courtney or Jai Courtney? Is that right?
Jai Courtney.
Okay. Yeah. So Jai Courtney. So he plays his brother, but so basically he rolls into to be a Army Ranger, which is him and his brother have been wanting to do. And of course he makes it, but then they go on a routine kind of like scouting mission to like, certify them as Rangers, and they come across something which is out of this world, basically. But decent action.
Out of this world.
Out of this world.
Out of this world.
Out of this world. But, action's, it's okay. It's your typical, like, Netflix, like, CGI. One cool thing is that you don't know Alan Richardson's name in the movie. They just go by a number, which I thought was kind of interesting. But you don't really get attached to the characters because you don't know their name or really any backstory. You just call them, like, whatever. Like, number 2's getting shot, and where's 81? And,
Who does number 2 work for?
Right. So I checked that out. I checked the sequel.
What was your star rating on that one there, Rob?
I think 2.5. I gave 2.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in checking it out until I saw Rob give it a 2. I'm like, I'll pass on that one for a while.
But then you have to be like, is just Rob full of shit? Like, I have to watch it to validate his.
Now, see, if I that's the thing. Like, if I knew already it was a bad movie and he gave it a 2, I'd kind of be like, okay. But if it's supposed to be like a modern movie and he only gives it a 2, I'm like,
There's a few like death scenes that are kind of like, holy shit. So, and I got to check this fantastic movie out that Mr. PBS let me borrow, Eastern Condors, from 1987.
Did you bring it back for him?
No, I forgot it. Because, see, we had the power outage. It was in the PS5, and I completely forgot to get out of the PS5 today since I have power. So I will be bringing that when we do our next show.
You're such a piece of shit.
Hey,
he just wants to, when he has people over, show him the one Criterion collection in his house.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not all Tubi.
I happen to be a movie connoisseur.
I can tell a good movie when I see one. So I gave that 4 stars. It's your typical like 80s action movie, Asian style action movie. It's almost, you can just call it like an Asian Suicide Squad, basically. So these guys, they're in prison, random guys, and so they recruit them to go on a secret mission to, which they don't know anything till near the end of the movie, what the secret mission is. And so basically, like, so if they succeed, they live, they get $200,000 U.S. money, all their criminal past and the charges dropped, and they can do what they want. And they're released from prison. So they're like, well, fuck it, we'll do it. But it has probably one of the funniest death scenes I've ever seen. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it's hilarious to me. So definitely check that out if you get a chance to. And then I watched a sequel to a Asian movie called Remember. And this is called Remember the Last Night. So sequel to this movie, it takes place right after the first one. I mean, it's okay. I liked it a little bit better in the first one because, the premise is these kids get stuck into a time loop and they have to play a game called Body Parts. So basically they're getting hunted and killed by this entity every night, and they relive until they collect all the body pieces of the entity, basically. So, but the thing I hate about the first one is that, so they know they're in time loop, but they go out and have fun and hang out and party, do all this shit, and they go at night. But they're getting like violently murdered, and that's supposed to be like, and they have fun throughout the day and then do that. But I'm like, should be a little bit more serious. So this one doesn't have that much goofiness with it, so I do appreciate that. And then some of the stuff, kill scenes and the entity is really good. They call it the red one. It's like a little girl that in complete blood. But definitely check it out if you're interested in those movies.
Okay.
And then that's it.
If I was stuck in a killer time loop, I'd be like, oh, Jason Voorhees isn't going to be here for a couple hours. I got time for a nap. Okay.
They're like, oh, let's go to the music park. That's what they do. And like, let's go to the beach.
Take a little nap.
Yeah, little siesta.
All right. So I watched Wolfen 1981. That was a pretty decent movie for its time. I don't know if it holds up, but
it's okay. It's not.
It's not the best.
If you've seen like all the werewolf movies and you haven't seen this one, it's worth checking out just to be like, all right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I watched Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman and
Sweet Carol. I haven't seen that one yet, but it looks.
Kate Hudson. Let me just tell you this: like, I was jamming out to some Neil Diamond throughout the whole movie, you know, because they're a cover band, but and they meet each other because they're performing at fairs as different people throughout music history or whatever, and they end up deciding to do a Neil Diamond cover band. They get married and whatnot, but it is not the feel good movie that they promise you from the trailers. Like, it is a tearjerker, And I don't know, like it really doesn't have a happy ending. I'm just gonna say that right now.
It's based on a true story, right?
Yeah. How true it is, I don't know. I heard the kids, the people that it's based off of, were very upset, but you can't make everybody.
It's always as
happy.
true as it needs to be for a movie.
Yeah, right. I checked out with Resident Evil 9 coming out or whatever. I rewatched Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. I gotta say that movie got a bad rap. It's not that bad. It's not the greatest, but it's not that bad. I think it's way better than the other Resident Evil movies that they gave us.
I'll give you that.
Is that the recent one?
Yeah.
I remember,
It's the thing that makes it good is it's pretty true to the first game in many aspects. So.
I remember.
Well, they kind of spliced
liking the
1
idea.
and 2 together. So.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, it's essentially 1 and 2 with some slightly leaning towards 3. You know,
They make Leon a bitch though.
yeah, they definitely did. Well, he's a rookie. You know,
He was a rookie in the second one, and he's still
which
fucking sweet.
this is my one complaint about that is they make him look really incompetent.
Yeah.
And Leon is not really incompetent.
No.
But then I definitely checked out Train Dreams. We talked about that. I gave it 4 stars. Checked out Thief by your boy
Michael Mann.
Yeah, Michael Mann. But what's his face stars in this? James Caan.
Caan, yep.
Is it Caan or Caan?
Caan.
Yeah, well, James Caan. And wow, just they don't make movies like this anymore. Like the way this movie is shot, they do driving at night after it's rained, and you get to see the reflections of stuff. And there's some slow cut scenes when the action and stuff like that. But it's 1981. I mean, it's a.
I think that was his first movie.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal movie, dude. And like the fact that I just went years without seeing it, I'm ashamed to admit. Then I checked.
Got that one on Criterion. Got the soundtrack.
Yeah, I gave that movie 5 stars. I mean, it's damn good, dude, and I highly recommend it. Like, it's on fucking Tubi right now. Watch it for fucking free.
I mentioned with Sorcerer when that came out earlier last year. There's an episode of MacGyver where they basically use the same storyline. There's an episode of MacGyver where he has to break into a safe.
Yeah,
and I think they actually use scenes from the movie. I could be wrong. Like the big safe break-in toward the end where he's got to use the long rod and all that.
The movie is about a thief.
Safe cracker.
Yeah, he's a safe cracker, and he's wanting to... He meets this girl that he wants to,
kind of have a life with.
He wants to court her and have, he wants to, move on with his life and provide for her. Mm-hmm. And he gets mixed up with a guy that offers him, a potential for a job that's going to take care of him for the rest of his life. And it doesn't turn out to be.
James Caan don't want no boss.
Yeah.
He wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
He's looking for one last score that's going to take care of him for the rest of his life. And once he completes the score, the guy's like, "You're done when I say you're done." And he's like, "No, I'm not."
I'm going out my way.
Yeah.
It's very much like Neil Macaulay, De Niro's character from Heat. This is like the same kind of character.
Yeah.
I ain't going back.
I see the heat's coming around the corner. I'm out.
Then I watched Demolition with Jake Gyllenhaal, and I this is one of those movies where I've seen people talk about
memes and stuff
over the years, and then you see the memes of him dancing, and I was like, I gotta watch this movie so I can relate to the references and stuff like that. But a really good movie. I gave it 4 stars, and it's about a dude who loses his wife in a car accident, and he happens to work for his father-in-law for some investment firm or something like that. But he ends up he's kind of autistic, and he ends up just kind of, he goes through this phase where he's grieving his wife, and he just happens to see somebody gives him some advice about, you have to take things apart and, to figure out how it works and get over, what's going on with you. You got to rebuild yourself, essentially. And I'm totally blowing that description, but pretty close to it. But basically, you got to take everything apart and build it back up, and that's how he's grieving. And one day he's just driving by, and he starts taking shit apart in the office, at home, and he's making a mess. Like when people are like, there's like a group of people looking in his office, and he took his whole computer apart. Like he's got parts everywhere. But he happens to see a demolition crew, and he's like, he stops, and he's like, I just want I just want to work with you guys. I'll work hard. You don't even have to pay me. And they're like, what the fuck? Are you going to sue us? Like he's in his suit and everything. This flashy guy pulls up in his luxury car. And he's like, listen, I'll pay you $400 and some right now if you let me work. And he ends up just working with these guys. But he meets a lady that, because he when he's in the hospital, he tries to get something out of the vending machine and it rips him off. And he ends up writing a letter to this company, and he just keeps writing letters, and he's like talking about his, he's like, my wife died, and I didn't get my money or my M&Ms that I wanted, and he just starts complaining about his life. Like it's like a therapeutic exercise for him. Yeah. And the lady that runs the customer service for this vending company, she calls him at like 2 a.m. and she's like, I just want to tell you, I'm reading your letters and I'm touched by them. And he ends up kind of having this weird relationship with her. And it's just, it's a cool movie. I'll just say that it's worth checking out. I think I rented that. It's not available to stream anywhere.
I forgot about that movie. I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Yeah, but it's like a $3.99 rental on like Amazon. And it's totally worth it. I had a good time watching it. And then the other night, I saw Sisu Road to Revenge was only $9 to buy.
It's on Netflix on the 21st.
On Fandango. And let me just tell you, you told me that, and I'm not ashamed that I paid that $10 for it.
I know.
It might be one of the best action movies I've seen in years. And that's saying something with the John Wicks. And it's from the John Wick people, I think, right?
It's like studio.
Maybe
basically.
one of them.
Yeah, like producers or something like that. But I wasn't really big on the first Sisu. I thought it was a letdown. I mean, it was still a good movie to watch. I gave it 3 stars. I gave this movie fucking 5 stars. And you don't even have to watch the first one because they kind of they give you enough, like it picks up right where the first one ends.
Right.
And they give you enough to kind of to where you don't have to watch the first one. Oh my God, there is so much crazy shit in this movie. And it's so over the top. It, like it defies physics in certain areas and just crazy shit, but it's so like it just keeps that tone through the whole movie that it works. And this is a story about the most resourceful man that you'll ever meet. Like there's a scene where he turns this tank into like he feeds like a fuel line through the side, and he's like he lights I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like a spark line through the back of it, and he's shooting fucking gasoline out the sides, and it's blowing flames out the side, and he just drives it through, and you're just like, this movie's fucking awesome. Like literally, like at the beginning of the movie, there's a chase scene because he's trying to rebuild his life and his home, and somebody wants him dead, and that kind of thing. But they're like chasing him down, and he does something where he knocks a guy off of something, and this dude goes flying back, and he just hits underneath another truck or whatever, and it just splatters up everywhere, and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
Stephen Lang's the bad guy.
Yeah, Stephen Lang's the bad guy. But, man, it's just, Sisu's got his poodle or whatever that dog is.
Yeah.
And that dog's just with him every step of the way doing all this crazy shit. But, I mean, it literally, like, half the movie is them on the road. In this he's hauling lumber back in this semi, and you're just like, it's an older truck, obviously, and these people are chasing him down, and it's just like it's almost got like a Mad Max type of vibe, but better, but World War II-ish, post World War II-ish, or whatever you want to call it. But it's fucking insane, dude. Like.
I think in the first one he's called the Immortal because he just can't die.
It's funny, like there's a part in the movie where the guy's like, he's one resourceful motherfucker, and you're just like, yeah, he is.
I think in the first one he's like he can't be killed. He's like, he's one mean motherfucker.
Oh yeah, and it's just like the things that this man accomplishes, like. Who would want to fuck with him? Like you just turn around after he pulls off some of the stuff.
I think he was like a Swedish commander or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Because it's like. I want to say it's like right out of Finland or something like that. Yeah. But like there's a part where he literally flips a tank over this like he's trying to get through this border and they're like blocking it. They get ahead of him and they're blocking it, and he just fucking flips the tank over, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? But the third act takes place on a train, and he has to go from cart to cart to cart, and you're just like, holy shit, this dude's fucking awesome. But I can't speak highly enough about it. You guys got to fucking watch it at all costs.
Put it on the list there.
It is so fucking
Top of
good.
the list.
You will be entertained, and I gave it 5 stars because I had so much fun watching it. And that's something I couldn't say about the first one.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't know how the sequel got made unless somebody read it and they were like, we got to fucking do it, you know? But this is everything I wanted out of the first one. That they, when they showed the trailers, I was like, oh, this is going to be a kick-ass movie. And it really wasn't. But this one was just phenomenal. You got to check it out, dude. If you love action movies, you're going to fucking love this.
It's always a plus when you see the demise of Nazis.
And then, I watched obviously I watched The Night Agent. I'm still watching The Pit. Fired up ER because, once I get caught up with The Pit, I'm like, I need some more medical drama shit, And what else did I check out? I finished The Beauty. I know there's something I'm forgetting that I'm just going to be like, why did I forget that? But yeah, definitely some good watches here lately. So, but
how much of the Oscars is anybody watching tonight?
I'm going to watch a fair bit of it.
I might record it and check out some of the stuff later.
I don't really check out the beginning of the Oscars. I'm like, how long is it on? And I go for that last hour or whatever. Because I obviously want to see the big awards get handed out. But yeah, dude, I'm anxious for the Oscars. And by the way, we will have the Sleazies on March 29th. We're compiling our nominees right now. And Rob just isn't getting the message that we don't nominate TV actors for awards. So, but we'll definitely have our best TV show and streaming and all that. So, but I
answered a few people on TikTok. They were talking about the Oscars. And I'm like, between like all the politicking in the Oscars and like people not watching all the movies, I don't know if I get into the Oscars super much anymore, but I do like to watch it just for like sort of the general, like the love of movies kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like you say, the big awards, So I don't know I don't know how much of it I'll watch, but I'll definitely kind of, I'll see like the clips later for sure.
It's always validating when the movies that you think should win, or the actors and actresses. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm thinking One Battle After Another takes Best Picture.
I don't know. There's been a lot of sinners talking.
I know there's a lot of, I think Michael Jordan's getting Best Actor. And I wouldn't be surprised if What's-His-Face takes Best Supporting Actor.
Delroy Lindo seems to be
Delroy Lindo.
Everybody is kind of pulling for, and he deserves it.
Does Emma Stone get another? Does she? Because she's won the past 2 years, right?
I don't know if it's the past 2, but she's definitely won.
She's got 2 Oscars. Yeah. I know that. She won last year for whatchamacallit, the one weird movie.
With Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Poor Things.
Yeah, Poor Things. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all we have for you folks. As always, a call to action, share with one person. From there, we'll get another person to listen or watch. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to content on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and X, and wherever you see us. Just make sure you're liking.
Join the Discord if you want.
Yeah, join the Discord. We don't post a whole lot in there, but if you would like to interact with us, there are many avenues to interact with us. And if you think something sucks, let us know that we said you don't agree with us. We're happy to hear your opinion. But that is all we have for you for this episode of the Sleazy Podcast. We'll be back in a few weeks for the Sleazies, and we'll let you know who is our favorites of the year. So, as always, keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.